Danielle, TheIntrovertMind.com, and I want to talk to you about three reasons you're not more productive and what to do about it. I just came back from a long trip, and as I'm away from my trip, my mind is going crazy thinking about the things that I needed to do when I returned home. So when I finally did return home, I took out a sheet of paper and I just did what I call a brain dump. So if you're not familiar with what a brain dump is, it's essentially just brainstorming and jotting down all those ideas on paper. So whatever it is, if it's a things to do list, or if it's a what you want to do in the future, or what you have to do tomorrow, or even, things that kind of bothered you that day, things you want to journal about, whatever it is, whatever comes to your mind, it goes down on that sheet of paper. And essentially, it ends up being a things to do list. So I jotted that down, and it turned out to be a full list of things on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I put the list to the side, and the next morning I grabbed that sheet of paper again, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do everything on here today. I'm going to get it all done. So I started trying to do just to kind of chip away at X, Y, and Z. And after a few hours, I realized I was not getting anything done. And then I discovered three reasons why. And here they are. Number one, there was too much on that list. The list became too overwhelming. So I thought that I was going to be super productive, but in the end, it turned out I was unproductive. Sometimes you get to that point where you want to take so much action that you feel like it's so much to do, but then it ends up being inaction. So that was mistake number one. It was too much and it became too overwhelming. Number two, what I did not do was select 1 to 2 things from the list that I needed to do. I'm going to say that again. 1 to 2 things that I needed to do off that list. So you write that down, 1 to 2 things that you need to do before you go to bed. And somehow, magically, that next day, your mind and your body starts to figure out ways to get these tasks done. Now, if you think about having 10 things on that list, your mind and your body, it doesn't know where to start. So it gets confused. So stick to 1 to 2 things that you need to do from that list. Number 3, stop trying to multitask. Multitask, potato, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. But you got to focus on the thing that you need to do. There's a saying that goes, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. And it's so true, because when you divide your focus on so many different things, in the end, what gets done? So say, for instance, okay, I'm watching TV. What I happen to be watching right now is Queen Sugar. And I have the phone in my hand, and I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed. I'm watching TV, scroll from my Instagram feed, watch TV again. Now my eyes take a few seconds to refocus on the television. Now think about that. Your brain is not different when it comes to focus. So you got item number 1 that you're trying to do. Then you got item number 2 you're trying to do. Then you go back to item number 1. Now your brain has to take time to refocus on that one thing that you're trying to do. So in essence, now you've subtracted from the time that you should have been able to get this thing done. So in other words, the short amount of time it could have taken, now it becomes a longer amount of time because you're focusing on more than one thing. So stop trying to multitask. I mean, you're doing Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're eating mindlessly, you're trying to sing to the music that's on, acting like you're at a karaoke bar or something like that. And mind you, I'm no pro at this. I'm not saying that I got this down because it is something that I still struggle with. I try to learn how to focus every single day. But I realize how important this is in order to get that one thing done. So maybe you might say to yourself, well, I don't know what I need to get done. And if that is a question on your mind, then in the comments, jot down, how do I know what needs to get done? And if enough people ask that question, I'll devote some time and do another episode at a later date on that. But for right now, what I would like for you to do is type in the comments if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or like, or share this video. Go to TheIntrovertMind.com. Just say hello. And remember those 3 things. Stop trying to do too much. Get 1 to 2 things that you need to do. And look at that before you go to bed. And stop trying to multitask. Danielle, The Introvert Mind. Peace.